It's just Prime.
What's up, guys? Dave here, aka Rodimus Prime 89, and today we've got kind of a fun little treat.
What's going on over there?
Well, Brad, that is a great question. Thank you for asking. Today we've got a cool surprise in this here box.
What's in the fucking box?
Well, yeah, okay. Oh, go ahead and get to that, Brad. Sorry. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here we go. Boom. X-Men Under Siege. This is an old board game that my brother and I had when we were kids, based on the classic Marvel Comics characters, the X-Men. These characters, the design you see on the packaging is very much in the style of the 1992 comic series illustrated by Jim Lee, written by Chris Claremont. This is an old childhood favorite of ours. This was created by Pressman. I'm actually not too familiar with that brand. I don't know if they're a subsidiary of Parker Brothers or who knows what. But made by Pressman, modeled after the 1992 X-Men animated series as well as the comic I just told you about. I found this online on eBay. We had a game when we were younger, the same game. I'm not sure what happened to it. My brother might still have it somewhere. It might be in storage, or he might have just lost it. But I've been on sort of an X-Men kick lately. I found a collection of Jim Lee, Chris Claremont books from that series, and I've really gotten back into it. Plus, with Disney Plus, having the entire X-Men animated series collection in there, I've just really been enjoying it. It's really been pulling me back into some great 90s nostalgia. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. As I said, I found this on eBay. It has not been opened. It is still in the plastic wrap. Some of the wrap is a little bit torn, but this game is going to be... What that means is that this game is going to be completed. There aren't going to be any pieces missing, which I think is probably something very common when you're out looking for retro or older board games. They're going to be sold loose. They'll be missing a lot of pieces, components. So I wanted to make sure that I found one that had everything in it, and I did. So let's go ahead and take this plastic off. You guys have no idea how excited I was to find this. And I don't even remember what prompted me to look for this game. I mean, again, I've been on the X-Men kick lately, but something about this game just kind of, I don't know, I was just thinking about it. So I went out and found it. So let's take a closer look. X-Men Under Siege. Included is a X-Men Survival Guide to the Mansion, an abridged version. This game features 18 collectible X-Men figures. Right. And the back packaging, the synopsis of the game reads, "A host of evil mutants has taken over the X-Mansion. Now an alert has been sent to all X-Men. Return to the mansion and try to regain control. Choose which pair of X-Men, each with an extra ability, will form your team. Then deploy them to the 6 different levels of the mansion. Now, the strategy begins. Do you send your team to different floors so they can cover more ground? Or do they go together and back each other up? Do you join a fight already in progress? Or do you try to secure another area? If one of your team members is wounded, do you let him recover to full strength? Or do you risk it in the hopes of eliminating one more mutant? Score a point for each room you explore, for each blood chip you get, for each mutant you capture. After every room on every floor has been explored, the player with the most points wins." The contents of this game include 18 collectible X-Men figures, a figure showcase, an X-Mansion game board, 18 X-Mansion power stat cards, 12 team color bases, 6 Evil Mutant strength indicators, 62 room chips, 70 X-Mansion Under Siege cards, 20 Evil Mutant cards, 9 dice, 48 hit chips, 55 evil mutant blood chips, and the instructions. Okay, this game is made for 2 to 4 players, but I imagine if there's a bigger group, I don't know why this would be the case, but let's say you have 8 people playing. I don't see a reason why there couldn't be just 4 teams of 2 players. Just more ways to enjoy the fun. This game is made for ages 9 to adult. So there's a little bit of damage on the box, not a big deal. A game that came out in 1992 or 1994. I think this game actually came out in 1994. But for a game this old, to still be in the packaging is just incredible. So a little bit of wear and tear on the box is not the biggest deal in the world. Some boxing on the corners there. Not bad though. Let's open this sucker up. All right. First, we have the X-Men Under Siege game manual, it looks like. Okay, it goes into details about the object of the game, the content, as I just went over. Talks about the little figure showcase here, the power stat cards. And it kind of has a breakdown of everything. The team color bases, the strength indicators, the room chips, the dice, hit chips. We can go through that a little bit later. Okay, and as we talked about, there are going to be some hit chips here, some X chips, and the blood chips. And on the back of these X chips, you are going to see the evil mutants and the X-Men printed on some of them. That is a part of the gameplay. We will go over that as well. Now to take a look at the actual game board. Well, okay, I think one of the first things I'm going to do now is to affix the appropriate name stickers with the character spots. They're even perfectly molded to fit each specific character. So there is a certain order they go into. So I think I will go ahead and get those stickers in there, then I will get the corresponding figures to go into their correct place. First up, we've got Warren Worthington III, aka the Archangel. Comes with some cool little wings included. Let's go ahead and get that on there. There he is, the Archangel. We've got Sean Cassidy, aka Banshee. Henry Hank McCoy, also known as the Beast. Lucas Bishop, or simply known as Bishop. Nathan Christopher Charles Summers, oh, that's a mouthful, aka Cable. Scott Summers, also known as Cyclops. We've got an X-Men fan favorite here, Remy LeBeau, aka Gambit. Alex Summers, the brother of Scott Summers. He is known as Havoc. One of the X-Men founding members, Bobby Drake, aka Iceman. Another founding member of the X-Men, Jean Grey, once known as Marvel Girl, sometimes known as the Phoenix, Jean Grey. Everyone's favorite X-Men, said no one ever, Jubilation Lee, aka Jubilee. Longshot? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck else they call him, so Longshot. Former member of Team X, David North, aka Maverick. Personally, one of my absolute favorite X-Men, Kurt Wagner, aka Nightcrawler. We've got Betsy Braddock, aka Psylocke. Another fan favorite X-Men, Anna Marie, also known as Rogue. Another classic X-Men character, Aurora Monroe, aka Storm. And now, arguably the most well-known, most people's favorites, the most recognizable X-Men out of the bunch, Logan James Howlett, aka Wolverine. Hell yeah. Well, alright, let's go ahead and get these guys where they belong. Let's see how badly this goes. Oh no, they're already gonna fall, aren't they? Okay, don't know how those are holding up because I can't see them right now, but there they are, standing up in their little, I don't know, holster, cubbies, whatever you want to say, looking all good, assuming they're not falling out. Alright, next I have the 6 Evil Mutant Strength Indicators. Let's go ahead and get these labeled with the stickers already provided for us. Next, we're going to go ahead and get these 9 dice labeled. Now, as you can see on these stickers here, we have 2 X-Men stickers, 1 Marvel sticker, and a 1 Evil Mutant sticker. So, these are going to be going on each of the dice. So, 2 X-Men, 1 Marvel, 1 Evil Mutant will go onto each die, leaving 2 sides of the dice empty. So let's go ahead and get these stickers on there. There you go. Alright, well next we're going to go ahead and take a look at these hit chips, X chips, and blood chips. There are going to be 48 of the hit chips, 55 of the blood chips. Additionally, there will be 14 of the pink X chips, 12 of the green X chips, 10 of the red, 10 of the purple, 10 of the yellow, and 6 of the blue X chips, making up a total of 62. So, with all these extra little pieces here, I do recommend you guys get some little Ziploc bags or something like that just to hold them all in. I actually don't have any. I'll have to go get some. Okay, the last thing we're going to unbox I should say, going to be the actual cards for the game. We have two kinds of cards. We have the Under Siege cards, and we will have the Evil Mutant cards. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. Alright, we've got a total of 70 Under Siege cards, 52 of which are going to be cards for some of the rooms scattered throughout the X Mansion, and 18 of which are going to be extra special action cards that you can use as well. Also included in the game are 20 Evil Mutant cards, the first 18 of those 20 actually being Evil Mutants. We've got Toad, Avalanche, Sauron, Fitzroy, The Blob, Sabretooth, Cameronod, I don't know who the hell that is, Fabian Cortez, the Sentinels, Goddamn Juggernaut, Strife, the Wendigo, or as my brother and I like to call him, the Wendigo, Mr. Sinister, Badass Russian Omega Red, Exodus, Apocalypse, Alien Brood, and last but absolutely not least, the Master of Magnetism himself, Magneto, being the most powerful of the 18 Evil Mutants listed here. And the last two Evil Mutant cards here, Cerebral Scans, are going to be kind of gimmies. Basically just saying that there are no mutants to fight into the room you've walked into, so you're good to go. Well, now that we've taken a look at all the goodies that come included with this game, let's go ahead and open up the board, get it set up, and have a look at what that looks like. So, of course, the first thing we're going to notice are the Evil Mutant Strength Indicators. These big red blocks here with the corresponding color X's. We were going to have these on each of the floors, appropriately assigned by color, of course. And as you can also see, we went ahead and got all those X chips assigned to each of these floors, one per room. You've got all the rooms essentially covered here. We did have a couple left over. I want to say one or two each were extra on here. But you want to go ahead and make sure that you get all of them, all the rooms, covered by a chip. So the overall objective of this game will be to clear all the rooms of the mansion, searching each room, and claiming as many points as you can. You can claim points by searching the room. If it's empty, you get that. If you clear an entire floor, you will go ahead and grab this little indicator here to show that you cleared out the entire floor. That gets you some points. Whenever you fight the Evil Mutants, if you beat them, you collect their cards. Those are points. Also, when you're fighting against them, if you land on these little blood chips here, which we'll go into in a little more detail, you'll also collect points with those blood chip tokens. So obviously, you want to explore every room in the X Mansion. And once that is all done, once all the rooms have been cleared in some way, then you're going to count between the players who has the most points, and they will win. Well, all right, board's all set up. Let's go ahead and do a very quick gameplay walkthrough. All right, of course, the first thing we're going to want to do is to get your team together. So let's go ahead and shuffle these suckers up a little bit, just mix them up. All right. So go ahead and deal 2 cards to each of the players. I'm just going to go ahead and randomly pick 2 out of the pile here. There's one. There's the other. So once you shuffle those, go ahead and get those face down. Put them near the game somewhere else. Of course, if the people you're playing with all agree, you guys can just go ahead and dig through the pile. Just pick whoever you like. But the pointers are going to start with 2 of them. So for this instance, I got Nightcrawler, one of my favorite characters, and Jubilee, one of my not favorite characters. That's fine. All right, so we'll go ahead and grab those figures out of the case here. So the game includes 4 choices of team color bases. As you can see, blue, green, orange, and purple. I'm going to go ahead and pick blue, and I'm going to get my 2 characters affixed to their bases. Go ahead and place your figures onto their respective stat cards. So looking at your character's power stat cards, you're going to notice they each have a fighting skill, durability, intelligence, and a corresponding number to each of them. So looking at the intelligence for your team, You're going to go ahead and add those two numbers together, and you're going to get that many Under Siege cards according to that number. So in my case, Nightcrawler has 2, Jubilee has 2. I will be getting 4 of those suckers. In order to figure out who's going to go first, each player is going to roll 5 of the dice. The highest point total is going to go first. So the X-Men size of the dice will count as 1 point. The Marvel will count as 2 points. The Evil Mutants and the blanks will not count for anything. Wow, that sucks. I would not be going first at all. Let's try that again. Oh my goodness. 2. 2 points. Best out of 3. That's better. Hey, that's what we like to see. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now that you guys figured out who's going first, the first thing you're going to do is to play a card. So, based on the rooms you have here, you will go ahead and pick one. Just for argument's sake, let's go check out the ground floor foyer. So, we can see that here. You're just going to go ahead and match the card to the room. Send whichever character you like. Let's go ahead and send Jubilee over to that room. You don't have to put her right on the room, but you certainly can. If you put her right next to it, that's fine too. You're going to go ahead and flip the chip. Take a look. Nothing on there. So, at this point, you go ahead and claim the chip as your own. That counts as a point for your character or for your team. Go ahead and just put this little guy next to your power stat card. Make sure you're keeping a tally on what you like there. Okay. Let's say that's just the end of your turn. There is no one to fight. There is nothing else to do. You went ahead and got yourself a point. Okay. At that point, when your turn is over, the player to your left will take their turn. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, I already picked these 2 characters, but let's say the next player, they have different cards. Let's go explore. Here we go. How about basement number 9, power backup? Since it's nice and right here on the screen already. Let's go ahead and take a look. We will go ahead and send our player to basement room 9. Over here. Flip his chip. We have an Evil Mutants chip. Let's go ahead and keep that over there by him for the time being. What we do when that happens, you're going to draw the top card off the Evil Mutant pile. Let's see who it is. Holy shit. One of the stronger guys, the Brood. So, you're going to place the card over by the level, just somewhere there. We will take the actual room chip. Place that on the bottom of the meter here. Over on 0. Right there. So when an evil mutant is battling at a level, the X-Men cannot leave this level until the evil mutant has been captured. X-Men can only move to this level and join the battle by playing one of these extra special cards here. The room cards for this level can't be played until the evil mutant is captured. So if you have other X-Men which haven't moved this turn, you can't play a room card for them. However, you can play an extra special quick response and have any or all of your X-Men join the battle. Now, occasionally, when you draw one of those evil mutant chips, you might get lucky, and you might draw one of these cerebral scan cards we kind of showed you earlier. Basically, it's clearing one of the rooms for you. It's just going to be you're going to treat it as an empty chip. You're not going to have to fight anybody. And then they'll give you an extra chip on the floor. So it's just going to be basically an extra 2 points for you without having to fight any mutants. So that's kind of cool if you can find those, but I'm pretty sure there's only like 2 of those in the entire evil mutant deck. And I did forget to mention earlier, when you're first drawing your Under Siege cards, you might sometimes get this particular extra special. It says when your team has less than 3 members, play the card and 1 X-Men joins your team. So, like I said earlier, your team is initially going to start with 2 X-Men. If at any point you have one of these cards and you want to add an extra guy on here, you would have to play this guy at the beginning of your turn before you go search in any rooms. There are only up to 3 characters allowed on team though, so it wouldn't make sense to try using that again. You'd only get 1 more added basically, and you'd have them for the rest of the game. Although at some point, your character might be knocked out or killed or whatever during the game. And if that happens, if you have this, you can go ahead and use it and bring a new team member onto your team. Now back to the actual fighting and how that all works. So, again, looking at the stats on your character stat card, go ahead and take a look at the fighting skill. The number on the fighting skill is going to be equal to the number of dice your character rolls in battle. So looking at Nightcrawler here, he has 5. So we'll be rolling 5 dice for him. It is important to note that sometimes on the little notes there on the bottom, sometimes these extra abilities can allow players to use extra dice to fight. That's not the case for Nightcrawler here. He could actually move from one level to another and join a battle. That's actually good to know. But yes, be sure to take a look at those little notes on the bottom of the character there, because sometimes they can help you in a fight. Let's say we went ahead and rolled those 5 dice, and this is what we got. We got 2 Marvel, 1 X-Men, 1 Blank, and 1 Evil Mutant. So, we're going to take a look here, and for each point, each positive point, remember the Evil Mutants are hits against us, and the blanks don't count for anything. So we've got 2 Marvel at 2 apiece, and we've got 1 X-Men at 1 apiece. So, we will go ahead and move this down 5 spaces. So, for each of the little blood splatters that you pass over, you'll go ahead and grab one of these chips. That'll count as a point for you. You don't ever lose these, you hang on to them. Points towards helping you ultimately win the game. But, however, we did see that we got the 1 Evil Mutant dice here. So, at which point you did some damage to the baddie, but you took some damage yourself. You're going to go ahead and grab one of the hit chips. Place it on your X. Boom. So a note about this. Let's say, for example, on another hypothetical, you got all Evil Mutants. Let's just say you got 4 of them. You rolled 5 total dice, and you got 4 Evil Mutants. That is going to be 4 points against you. Obviously, ignore that. Looks like you didn't hit him at all on this turn. So, you'll get a hit chip for each corresponding Evil Mutant. So, you are here now. You have more Evil Mutants than you do hit chips. Well, shit. You're going to have to go ahead and start placing these extra ones on the character picture. So when your character receives more hits than he has X symbols, the character is considered to be seriously wounded. Like I just showed you, you're going to place the extra hit on the power stat card picture. And that's going to be the end of your turn. So on your next turn, the wounded character is going to have to roll these dice again to recover. So, caveat to this is that the roll is going to have to be successful in removing all of these. So you're going to have to get all positive numbers greater than or equal to 4 hit points. So hypothetically, you roll this. Nope, excuse me, I misread that. So the roll just has to be able to remove the hit chips from the character picture, not from the symbol. So in this case, this would be plenty to just take that extra little guy off. That's all you need in order to survive. If you were to not have one successful, if these are all blanks or all Evil Mutants, that would not have worked. And you would be dead. But in this case, take the 4 off. And then let's say you take that 1 Evil Mutant hit again. So you're back to 1 of those. So in which case you are A-okay. But if you were unsuccessful, like I was saying a second ago, your character is essentially done for. Let's see. Yep, so when the character attempts to recover and fails, the character is returned to its place on the show card. So in other words, you take poor little Nightcrawler off the board, you put him back into his little holding place, and then you return the play show card. Sorry, you'd replace the power stat card at the bottom of the stat card deck. So, on the off chance that a player loses their entire team of X-Men, the game's not over for them. That player just has to recruit 1 X-Men by taking the next power stat card from the deck at the start of their next turn. So essentially, this game isn't gonna, you're not gonna, you shouldn't, at no point are you out of the game, really. I mean, you just keep getting more team members if you completely run out of them, but you just be drawing them one at a time. So again, the object of the game is to, go through all the rooms, and then at the end of all that, just count whoever has the most points. Now, if you have more than one X-Men in the battle, the characters are going to fight one at a time after the leader. So you just basically pick one of your characters to be the leader, and then you just kind of play them in order that way. So you're going to calculate each character's fighting dice separately. You'll roll the dice to record hits against the evil mutant and on your character doing battle before battling with your next character. So, let's say Nightcrawler took that hit, or he took some hit. You're going to move this guy accordingly to where he is. He's going to take whatever hits accordingly, and then you'll get your next player, Jubilee, and you'll look at her stat card. She has 3 fighting skill. You would roll 3 dice for her. You would do the same thing for her. Whatever damage you do on the mutant, you move the slider down, you collect any blood chips if you cross over any, if you land on any, and then you take any appropriate hits to your character. And you're going to pretty much repeat that for your next several turns until one way or the other, either the mutant KOs you and you have to keep getting mutants, like a new team of mutants to keep fighting them, or if you beat them, as you gradually keep beating them each point, this is going to move on down the line here. And then when you finally get to the end, when you get to 0, the mutant is defeated. You take the chip with you. That is a point for you. You're going to move the little indicator back to the level it's on. And I think you get to claim the evil mutant card as well as a point. So now that we went over the clear empty room and the evil mutant room, the only other possibility that you'll really get... Well, let's go ahead and show you that. Let's say you formal dining. Let's say Nightcrawler finished fighting the guy. He's done. Other people have had their turns. It's back to your turn. You have Nightcrawler. You pick this room, ground floor, formal dining. Just a random room, right? Let's go ahead and move him over here. Take a look at his chip. And we have an X-Men little chip. So all that is going to mean is that if you don't already have a third X-Men team member, you'll go ahead and draw another one randomly from the pile. And you add them to your team. And then once you do that, point is yours. The room is clear. It is as simple as that. Throughout the gameplay, you'll be sent through the different levels, doing the exact same thing. It's a pretty simple concept. You're going to go through all the different rooms. You'll either clear them, you'll battle them, or you'll get like a new team member, get the points. Of course, your cards are down here. You'll continue to draw those. After each turn, you want to replenish your hand. And you remember the number of cards you have are according to the intelligence points between all your team members. So if you get another X-Men team member, you'll probably be adding a few more of those each turn. But you're just going to go ahead and continue clearing all the rooms on each floor until, let's say you finally, between the different teams, let's for a second pretend Jubilee is on another team. Hell, let's just do this. Get her on a different base. Let's say an entire floor is clear. In this case, there's only, 4 or 5? Only 4 chips with these. So whichever team has most of these, has a majority of them, clears the floor, and they get this little token. It's another point added to their overall score. Now, if there is an even split, there shouldn't be for this floor. Well, never mind, there's 4 of them. So yeah, there absolutely could be for this floor. If there's an even split, then nobody will get it. That will remain there. That point is nobody's. So essentially, someone would have to get 3 out of the 4, or all of them, to claim that floor. But it's going to be the same principle for any of the other floors. Once the entire floor is clear, whoever has the most of that color claims the actual little evil mutant strength counter deal. And again, those are just more points to contribute to your possible win. So, you're basically going to continue doing that for each and every single turn. You'll either be discovering a clean and empty room, you'll be discovering an evil mutant to fight, and you'll be spending your turns trying to clear them off the board. or you might find some X-Men to add to your team. And if you already have the maximum amount of X-Men on your team, you take that room as a point for yourself. So you'll continue to do that until you clear all the rooms off the board here. You don't even have to fight all the evil mutants. You more than likely will, but you have to clear all the rooms off the board, and then once that is finished, you will you'll take a look at what you've collected over the course of the game, whether it's these floor, evil mutant strength, little monitors, indicators, whatever they are, the X chips themselves, any blood chips that you've collected. So at the end of it, you're going to tally those up. Each and every single player is going to tally up what they have, and whoever has the most points according to, like I said, number of X chips, number of blood chips, number of these, and number of evil mutants defeated, they win. Simple as that. So it's a pretty simple game. If I made it sound more complicated, I'm sorry. If you do ever get a chance to play this game, hopefully you have everything included in it. Hopefully it's not missing pieces or instructions, but generally the instructions pretty simple to follow. It's just a little booklet that you saw earlier. I was kind of reading through it as I was kind of showing you some stuff on here. It's real simple. And of course, there's certainly other videos out there. If I might not have explained something the best, you can certainly feel free to ask me, leave me a comment. You could always shoot me an email on primerodimus89@gmail.com. But otherwise, it's a pretty simple game. You're not going to get a lot out of this unless you're an X-Men fan, probably. And a lot of this for me is just simple nostalgia. I'm sure this is something I could play with my nephews and we'll have a great time. My brother and I will play this, we'll have a good time. So a family game night kind of thing. It's simple. From what I remember and from what I was kind of reading about it to kind of get myself reacquainted, the gameplay time is going to be about 2 hours to knock everything out, assuming you have 4 players. So it's a good way to kill some time on a game night. It's something fun. It's something different to do. If you're a nerd like me, like you're about the nostalgia, you love the 90s X-Men, I absolutely recommend you play this. It's fun. So finding it might be a little challenging if you really want it. If you're really not sure, if you're not committed, it's not going to be worth the price. I found this on eBay, unopened. I'm not going to get into the price, but a little more expensive than certainly a loose or an older one or an incomplete one would be. So those incomplete ones range around $30 or so. And there are always people selling just random parts to extra little X chips, extra figures, that sort of thing. But yeah, I went ahead and found this pretty much brand new. It was sealed. Like I said, there's some damage to the box itself, but not really enough to be a problem or an issue for me. You saw me pull everything out, open it all up. I have a full thing here, so if you ever have a full game at hand, it's certainly a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun. There are 2 other X-Men games that came out around the same time period. This is actually the second of 3 games, I believe. I could be wrong. The first one is, I want to say, X-Men Red Alert. That actually came with a cool little exclusive comic offer, kind of a mail-in thing. You get a comic book with it. I actually got that book. It's actually considered a rare variant. It's pretty sweet. That did not come included with this game. Nothing like that. Just the Survival Guide to the Mansion, which had blueprints to the mansion, and then, of course, the normal stuff I've already shown you. And there was another game, I want to say around 1996. It could have been later. Something like, I don't know, Danger Room, Attack of the Danger Room, something. I don't know. I don't really remember that. But those other games would certainly be kind of fun to find if they're out there, if they're at a good price. I wanted to get this one new because I really loved this game as a kid. The nostalgia factor definitely kicked in for me. If I find those other games cheap, not in great condition, I'm not going to be too worried about it. This is a big part of my childhood, though, that I absolutely wanted to get a nice version of. I wanted to hang on to. I know my brother and sister and I pretty much ripped that other game apart. We played it so much. We were like little kids back then. We probably didn't take the best care of it. So if it's out there, my brother has it. If not, we just trashed it at some point. But I am very glad to have this. I am very glad I found it. This has been a lot of fun. And like I said, it'll just be something fun for me and my family and maybe just a couple friends to kind of hit up if we're really bored and really feeling kind of nerdy. So, well, I guess I will go ahead and get this all cleaned up. If anyone would be interested, then I'm thinking I might end up doing another video where just me, my brother, maybe some friends just kind of do a quick little playthrough of this game. It might be different to actually see it played with a group of people as opposed to hypotheticals and just a very general walkthrough. So yeah, I think I might consider doing that. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like, subscribe. Don't have to if you don't want to, not a big deal, but I'd really love that. I hope you all enjoyed, and yeah, thank you so much. This has been Rodimus Prime 89. Have a fantastic day.